Welcome to Coffee with Carley, presented by Tim Hortons. I'm joined by Andrew Copp, Michigan native. How's it going?
Good, how are you?
Good. So you came back to Michigan to play for your hometown team. What's it been like thus far?
It's been good, obviously. I think it's been a little different than I anticipated. Obviously coming back and being around friends and family, that's part of the draw, I guess, and playing for a team that you grew up idolizing. But there's just little ins and outs of the day-to-day that you maybe don't put together or don't realize how that's going to kind of manifest itself during the year. So just little things like that. But overall, I think it's been good, and the team's been off to a pretty good start.
Speaking of idolizing, you have someone like Steve Yzerman sitting as general manager of the team who wanted you to come home and play for this team. He signed you to his longest contract. Mm-hmm. What does it mean to have someone who you looked up to playing hockey have faith in you and bring you to his team?
Yeah, it was pretty special. I think just through that free agency process, was able to kind of talk to him for about an hour and a half, and just kind of go through my game, where he sees me, where the team's at, where they're heading, and all that kind of stuff. So feels good to have someone that you trust and believe in, and I think that kind of rides itself out for a few months. Like, you feel pretty good about that, but as soon as the season starts, it's you're worried about the actual hockey.
So before your professional career, you were playing at the University of Michigan. You were a Wolverine. You were captain of the team with none other than Dylan Larkin, who's now your captain. What was that dynamic like? How has that changed?
It was great, and I think even from the get-go, I think I was someone that he leaned on, and in certain circumstances. And I remember us having a couple powwows in my car, like dropping him off at the dorms after study hall or whatever, just whether something was going on off the ice or on the ice or whatever. So I think I was someone that he was able to lean on, and kind of my job as the captain and kind of making everyone feel welcome. And I think you saw him, assume that over the course of the year. I think he got to be a little bit more of a leader, and when he plays like he does and works so hard, it comes naturally for him. So kind of the other way around now, but yeah, he's been great for us.
All right, so let's talk a little bit about your family. Mm-hmm. You have your mom and dad, and then you have a brother. It's just the two of you?
Yep,
Your
just
brother
two
plays
of us.
golf, no?
Golf, yeah, professional golfer in Florida. Yeah, he was a goalie up until senior year of high school, and then ended up winning the regionals for high school golf. Went on to the state, got like top 10 in the state, and he kind of told my parents I think he likes golf more than hockey now, and it's like, okay, well, what are we going to do now? And then played at Mercer in Georgia, and then won the Michigan Am a couple years ago, and just kind of doing that professional golf grind ever since.
Very cool. Okay, so how competitive are the two of you? Two boys.
I would say we're really, really competitive.
Yeah.
I don't think we're as competitive with each other as we used to be.
Really?
I think like as soon as I probably got to USA, when I was sort of like 16, 17, I think that's when it really stopped between us. So I think we're a lot more on the same team than, when we're, 14, 13, like we're fighting in the house. We're playing mini sticks against each other. I mean, like there's holes in the wall, there's, everything. So.
All right, so speaking of family, let's talk about your parents. So your mom's a figure skating coach. Mm-hmm. Did she help you along the way?
My skating, I mean, I think probably just the genes. I think a lot of my skating genes are definitely from her. I would say that I learned a lot from both of them. I think my dad was my coach, so obviously a lot of like lessons in terms of pure hockey and everything like that. But you don't really realize that at the time how much hard work goes into it. But now it's like, couldn't imagine like having two kids and getting up at 5 a.m. and doing all that. The athletic genes probably come a little bit more from my mom. I was just with my dad being the coach, I think learned a lot of lessons pretty quickly on how to act in a team and all those kinds of settings.
What did that look like, having your dad as
Oh my goodness. I mean, if you bring in some of the guys that I played with over the years, like this could be 3 hours long of all the stories that have happened over the years. He likes to think of himself as like a stricter Ted Lasso, because he's like
I like that.
Well, because in the show, like he has to come up with such creative ways to motivate guys, and I think my dad really understood that in terms of what makes certain guys tick. We had really, really hard practices, but it wasn't pointless. Like there was always there was always some reason for these things to happen. We like tied a team, and it was a game we should have won, but like the team was pretty good too, and we had to do like football drills for an hour after, and it was like, you don't really realize at the time because it's like, are we seriously staying at the rink till 11 o'clock on a school night and like in 7th grade?
You're like, I still have homework to do.
Yeah, after playing a game, and it's like, are we really doing this? But then looking back on it, it's like holding yourself to such a high standard, and you know, not taking anything for granted. So many good stories. A lot of life lessons were learned in the right ways.
We talked about your brother moving from one sport to another, but how about you? Okay, so you were a record-setting quarterback in high school.
Yeah.
You were getting scouted by D1 schools, no?
Yeah.
Then you got hurt. Can you tell us kind of like how that process went about?
Yeah, so I never played football until high school, and like I was already playing like CompuWare, like travel hockey, which was kind of, you know, you're a little bit far down the path of heading towards, you know, once you hit that age of playing junior college and all that. So my dad was my hockey coach. He wanted me to play football and to help with my physicality and understanding contact and all those kinds of things, and then ended up playing quarterback, which is obviously not what he was thinking at the time. But those were great times. And yeah, when I got hurt, I think I knew it was my last play of football, because I was on the U.S. development team, and kind of felt like hockey was going to be the path.
So I know we talked about your family, your immediate family. Let's talk a little bit about the little family you have now. You and your girlfriend, you have a dog, Boone.
Yeah, Boone.
Tell me a little bit about Boone. 6 months?
6 months.
Still a baby.
Yeah, my family has started to do a lot more rescue. I think the past 4 or 5 dogs of ours have been rescues. So wanted to do that. I was involved with a foundation in Winnipeg that I really liked. Wanted to rescue, and we found a place in Grand Rapids that had a dog that we really liked that had just been adopted, and she kind of sent us a picture of Boone. So we picked him up after our last wedding this summer on our way back, and got him July 31st, and it's been great ever since. We did a DNA test on him. We don't really believe it, to be honest with you. Like, we thought it was like Australian Shepherd or a Collie. Like, he's got like the brown, black, and white, like kind of tri-coloring. And we did the DNA test, and it came back as like Rat Terrier, Golden Retriever mix with like some like Poodle and Chihuahua, and it was like Pug. I was like, this just doesn't seem right. So we're boycotting the DNA test as of right now. But he's been great. We named him Boone after Coach Boone in Remember the Titans, which is a classic movie. I think it's one of my favorites. So he's got such a great temperament. Everyone that comes by is always like, I'm gonna put him in my bag and when I'm leaving, because he's so cute.
Andrew, thank you so much for joining me for a cup of Tim Hortons. I appreciate it, and it was nice getting to know you.
Thank you. You too.